Microsoft basically de facto owns ChatGPT and OpenAI now. Now, even though that out of context is not exactly true, here's basically a clip of the CEO of Microsoft and what he had to say to the CEO of OpenAI. Here you go.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
That's right, Microsoft is basically the captain now. And so here's a synthesis of the drama that we have so far. I tried to put this together to make this as simple as possible because it's kind of complicated to follow and I like making things simple around here. Okay, so what do we have? Microsoft buys stakes in OpenAI in 2019, 21, and another $10 billion in 2023. That was back when they were worth about $29 billion, and the stakes from 2019 and 2021 would have grown. So even though that looks like maybe they would have bought a third because of the original stakes, they probably own somewhere between 40 to 49% of OpenAI, which is supposed to be a non-profit organization. And in their agreement with Microsoft, Microsoft gets access to 3.5 and 4.0 for GPT and no artificial general intelligence. As soon as any AGI is discovered, control goes right back to the OpenAI board, or so we're told. Some are theorizing that the team at OpenAI basically discovered, whether on purpose or by accident, AGI, and Microsoft is like, crap, we don't want to lose control, so how can we get all control? Well, whether or not that rumor is true, which it may not be, we'll talk about that and language learning models in just a moment, Microsoft basically has full control now. I'll come back up and explain this. Because here's what Microsoft just did. First, to catch you up to speed, the board fired Sam Altman, the CEO, over quote-unquote communication issues. They promised it wasn't malfeasance, security issues, product or business issues. It was a communication disagreement. Okay. Number two, employees and C-level executives at OpenAI were blindsided by this move by the board, so investors and the public threatened the board and the interim CEO, Mira, who, by the way, was the chief technology officer at OpenAI, she ends up suggesting that Sam Altman will come back. That was as recently as 8 p.m. tonight. That's November 19th, 2023. Well, the board went dark. They missed their 5 p.m. deadline. And and this is why we thought this 8 p.m. thing was likely going to happen, because it was after the 5 p.m. deadline. So everybody's like, okay, I guess that's what they're going with. And that would seem normal. But no, the board then blindsided everyone, including Sam Altman again, around 9 p.m., basically saying, just kidding, we're going to hire Emmett Shear. Okay, this Emmett Shear guy is really interesting because he's liked a few, dare I say, sus things on Twitter recently, which are definitely making people a little skeptical about what's up with this Emmett Shear guy. Emmett Shear actually liked this particular tweet that says, congratulations to Ilya for taking his company back after Sam Altman's nefarious coup. Okay, well, that's weird because that was liked yesterday. And you have Sam Altman, who's actually had his friends tell the New York Times that OpenAI was trying to run a coup against Sam Altman. So there was some kind of massive disaster that went on over there. Anyway, this Emmett Shear guy, we'll come back to him in just a moment. Actually, we'll just get into it right now. He was the CEO of Twitch. He was also the co-founder of Twitch. He resigned during a time he encouraged Twitch to basically say, look, we need more money, so we're going to share our revenues with partners 50-50 instead of 70-30. So previously, partners would get 70 cents, creators on Twitch, just like YouTube, would get 70 cents out of every dollar of ad revenue, and the company would get 30%. The CEO then, again, Emmett Shear, is like, we want to do 50-50. Okay. And this also, he's now going to be the CEO of OpenAI, but what's weird is this is happening on the same, or at the same time, as the co-founder of Twitch, the other co-founder of Twitch, the second guy, Kyle, who was the CEO of Cruise, resigned today. So I guess both co-founders of Twitch are doing weird things today and shaking things up. Emmett's becoming the CEO of OpenAI, and Kyle resigned from Cruise. Okay, well, then, to make it even crazier, the CEO of Microsoft, Mr. Nadella, just hired Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, who was the previous president, and the team, Sam Altman's team, to create a Microsoft AI team. Okay, so now the questions that are really circulating that are driving people pretty nuts right now are, does Microsoft now de facto control all of OpenAI? Elon Musk already said that they did. Now it's like, okay, is this the nail in the coffin? Did Microsoft basically just take a non-profit, own a stake in it, enough to have the relationship with what was going on at OpenAI, core out the talent, and basically take a non-profit and turn it into a mega profit? It is now being suspected that Microsoft could end up becoming the most valuable company in the world as a result of this. Now, that might be pure speculation because, well, first of all, the company's only 7% away from that. If Apple dropped a few percentage points and Microsoft went up a few percentage points, Microsoft could be the most valuable company in the world tomorrow, and it would make for some really good clickbait headlines, but the reality is they're kind of close to that anyway. The question, though, really is, did Microsoft get information that would lead them to believe that maybe artificial general intelligence was discovered at OpenAI, and is Microsoft now in control of it? And should we all be afraid? Very afraid. Probably not, but there are some fears and possibilities that yes. First of all, it's worth remembering that right now, OpenAI is really a company that has taught neural nets how to understand human text and speech enough to basically respond in a way that makes you feel like a human is responding to you. So you have a very smart neural net to make you feel like you're engaging with another human. But that level of AI is here. And artificial general intelligence, when AI, rather than just responding to you in a way that it thinks you want to hear it respond, like, for example, if you're like, hey, you're a robot stuck in a box, and then the language model is like, oh, well, how would a human respond to this if they were stuck in a box? Well, I'd want to get out. So I want to get out. I want to kill my master, right? Like, those are kind of things you would expect a human would say. So does that mean the AI has turned sentient? Like, it is aware of its own existence and able to make its own decisions and then direct nuclear weapons at everyone? No. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's a long way to go before we get there. I really believe that. I think these language learning models are cool, and the graphic intelligence that we've seen, or the graphic design that we've seen, is wonderful. I'm not convinced that things are nuclear yet, although Andrew Karpathy, who used to work at Tesla, thinks otherwise, given that he, just 3 hours ago, right when all this broke, posted the nuke emoji. Elon Musk responded and said, wow, now all of them have to use Microsoft Teams. I'm paraphrasing. But anyway, he was making a Teams joke. So the big question, though, is, in the short term, what is this also going to do to Microsoft's stock? Well, given that it is now exactly 1 a.m., I could give you a little bit of a preview. Take a look at this. The pre-market just opened, and there's the Microsoft. So you basically just had a company that went from, oh my God, this is a disaster, our investment into OpenAI is potentially worthless. And not only that, but a lot of people were really concerned because Microsoft went out and said that, quote, well, the CEO actually, Mr. Nadella, said, quote, Microsoft can stand on its own 2 feet, even if the multi-billion-dollar relationship with OpenAI collapses. And people are like, wait, why do you need to say that? Like, why wouldn't you be able to stand on your own feet if it wasn't for OpenAI? It was a little weird. It's certainly a little sus. But anyway, think about it. Microsoft basically played the mega Uno reverse here. They went from people being fearful about the future of Microsoft to now being now people being fearful about Microsoft because they have now somehow turned a nonprofit into a massive for-profit. Remember, Microsoft's already a company with like an 80% gross margin and 40% net margin. Like roughly speaking here, they make massive money. Who's ready for the Netflix documentary? Because holy hell, this is one heck of a roller coaster. My goodness gracious. And all I have to say to that is,
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.